Hello, YouTube world. It's me, Danny, again. I'm back. Sorry if that was the most awkward intro ever. I'm still getting used to all of this. Don't mind this background. I know it's ratchet. I'm gonna fix it. But anyway, I don't know why I want to tell this story, but I just do. If you saw the title, you'll see that I was the roommate from hell. And not on purpose, but I didn't mean to be the roommate from hell. So I know people always tell stories about, their roommate and how their roommate was just absolute trash. But I just want to tell the story about when I was the trash roommate. And I didn't mean to be, but let's just get on with it. Oh, if you like me, if you like my channel, go ahead and like, subscribe, and comment. And subscribe. Wait, I already said subscribe. That just shows you how much I actually want you to subscribe. So anyway, let me just get on with the story. So I started college in 2012, fall 2012. Not that that's really that relevant. It's not. But let me just disclaim by saying that the whole roommate idea in college is just so intimidating and kind of dumb to me because I just can't believe that we stick two people who don't know each other inside a room, this little square room with two beds and just very little space to store things, and you throw them in there. You're like, okay guys, go ahead and get along and live together and whatever. It's just, I think that before I went to college, we filled out a questionnaire or whatever about ourselves and our personality, and based off of that, the system will match you with somebody based off of what they put inside of their questionnaire and the answers that they chose to do. So I remember filling out one of those, but still, me and this girl did not work out at all. So we get there on the first day. Things are fine. We're moving in. I mentioned in my introduction video that I'm from Northeast Ohio, and she just happened to be from Columbus, Ohio, which is middle Ohio. So, not that that matters either, because it doesn't. But we move in, and things were okay at first. We were getting to know each other. I remember we had, a little conversation, introduction conversation or whatever. And one thing that stands out to me that she told me was that she's like, oh yeah, I go to bed at 10:30 every day or every night, including the weekend. And I just remember thinking really? You're not going to go out sometimes? You're just going to go to bed at 10:30 every day? Can you hear my cat meow? She's over there meowing for some reason. Summer! What are you doing? Anyway, so yeah, she's like, I go to bed at 10:30 every day. And I already knew that would be a problem for me because I don't go to bed at 10:30 every day. At this point in my life, I was a night owl, and my cat just jumped up here. Oh, this is Summer. She's my baby. Well, she's laying down, so I don't want to disturb her. So anyway, I knew that would be a problem for me because I don't go to bed at 10:30 every day, especially, this is freshman year at college. I want to get out and I want to experience things and I want to go to frat parties and I want to stay out and go party. Who goes to bed at 10:30 every day? So I already knew that would be a problem for me, but I told her that I would respect the fact that she goes to bed so early every day. I told her I would try to respect it as best as I can. That didn't work out. So yeah, I knew that would be problem number one. And problem number two was the fact that I brought my TV and she didn't bring a TV. So when one roommate brings a TV, the other roommate doesn't, that creates kind of an issue. I remember this was after we had already started having problems, but since I'm on the TV, I'll talk about it. I remember I was watching a movie one night. I think it was one of the Harry Potter movies. It was on TV, and it was like 10:45 at night, and the movie was going to be over at 11, and I was going to turn the TV off at 11 as soon as the movie was over. But it's 10:45, so I guess it's past her bedtime already. And so she gets in her bed, she puts the cover over her head, and then I just hear her blurt out, "Can you turn your TV off?" And I don't know why I made her voice like that, but that's kind of how it sounded. But she was like, "Can you turn your TV off?" And then I was like, "Okay, I'll turn it off after the movie's over." And so, I mean, benefit of the doubt to her, I guess she didn't know that the movie only had like 15 minutes left and I was going to turn it off after that. But that's pretty much all I said. All I said was, "Okay, I'll turn it off when this goes off." And so next thing I know, she like gets up out of the room, and I thought she was just going to the bathroom or something. But she gets up out of the room, and then she comes back, but she comes back with the RA, which is like the person in the hallway who like monitors, who's in charge of that hallway. So she comes back with our RA, and there's just a problem. There's just a problem. And I remember like getting frustrated and just turning off the TV and just being like, it only had 10 minutes left. Like, I don't even know what the big deal was, blah, blah, blah. Like, and then my RA was just basically like, "Well, you just need to respect her, blah, blah, blah. If she's ready to go to bed." Well, what if I'm not ready to go to bed? What if I want to finish my Harry Potter movie? What if I wanted to finish my Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban movie? She goes to bed at 10:30 every day, and I don't have a problem with it. I mostly abide by what she wants. I do one night where I want the TV on until 11, and she immediately goes to the RA. So that just made me mad. So I just remember I turned the TV off like at 10:50. I didn't even finish the movie, and I just like rolled over and like just went to bed. We didn't say anything to each other for the rest of the night, and she went to bed, and so did I. So that was annoying. And then what other scenario do I remember? Oh, the fact that she goes to bed at 10:30 every day. I remember I went out one night with my best friend, and I remember I came back. It was like probably 2:30 in the morning. And not gonna lie, I'd been drinking. At the time, I was only 19, so like underage drinking, but who doesn't in college? So I remember I'd been drinking. I came back to my dorm, and I couldn't see. I could not see. I needed to see. So instead of turning on the big light overhead, I decided that I'll just turn on like my desk light. But my desk light was really bright, and the way that she was laying, she was laying like toward the room. So when I turned on the light, it immediately went in her face and like woke her up. And then like she was just irritated that I woke her up at 2:30 in the morning on a Saturday night because I had been out partying like a normal freshman college student. And she was being lame in the bed, going to bed at 10:30 on a Friday night. So anyway, that's that story. I remember she got really irritated with me that night, my drunk ass coming in, turning on the lights and stuff and disturbing her sleep, which, I do feel bad about. Like, I do feel bad, but at the same time, like, I would have asked you to come with us had you not been such a lame and wanted to go to bed at 10:30 every single day. So that was that. I remember this one time I was still dating my boyfriend back then. I remember one time he came over and I warned her that like, "Oh, my boyfriend's about to come over, blah, blah, blah." And he was in my room, and I'm pretty sure that made her uncomfortable. But if she had a boyfriend and he was in her room, that would make me uncomfortable too. So I remember she just was pissed off about that one day. And I remember then she just like got fed up with me. Just like all of the late nights, the TV, the boyfriend. And I remember one day, like, I'm not the cleanest person. Like, I'm not dirty. I would more so describe myself as messy. But I remember she said she had her sister and her sister's new baby just coming to visit from Columbus. And she asked me to, like, clean my side of the room. So I didn't really, like, respond to her because at this point, me and her just were not getting along at all. So I didn't really say nothing, but I did clean up my side of the room. But when she asked me, I just was kind of like, and then I just didn't say anything to her because we had already been beefing by then. So then I just remember she just finally just got fed up with me and she moved out. She like moved out. I remember I went home one weekend because my college, it wasn't that far from where I live. You could probably get there in 30 or 35 minutes if you know where you're going. But I remember I came home, then I came back, and her shit was just gone. Like, she was gone. And she only moved across the hall to like the single room, like to a room that had no roommate. So, yeah, she just dipped out on me. And I kind of felt bad. But at the same time, I was like, okay, well, now I'm in my room by myself. You know, I'm paying only half the price for a 2-person room with only one person in here. So I was fine with it. Um, and I remember something embarrassing happened after that. After she moved out, she moved across the hall, like I said. And I like, I was like, fine, I'm in my own room now. So I started inviting, my friends over. And some of the friends that I invited over brought some weed. And you're not supposed to have weed in your college dorm room. So, but my friends brought it, and we were rolling, a blunt in there, and you could smell it. You could smell it, and that was something that I was like naive about. Like, I knew marijuana had a, sorry, I don't like saying that word. I knew weed had a smell, but for some reason I just didn't think that you could smell it inside my dorm room. I have no idea why, but for some reason I don't know. I just didn't think, but it was strong and you could smell it throughout the whole hallway. So I remember having my friends in my room. We were doing that. We weren't smoking it. We were just like rolling it so we could smoke it later. But I got a knock on my door, and when I opened the door, it was the RA with, security. And oh, my roommate, my old ex-roommate, she had made friends with like the girls like down the hall. And I just remember like opening the door and just seeing them just like in a group, just like ready to watch me demise myself because I got caught with weed in my room. And I just remember them just in a group, just looking at me like, ha ha ha, that's what you get. Finally, like, like I leave you, you do something dumb, and now you're in trouble, like, stupid bitch. Like, I'm pretty sure that's what she thought about me. But after that, like, I mean, I got in trouble or whatever, but after that, like, me and her really didn't speak. I would see her because, like I said, she only moved across the hall, and we didn't talk to each other. I would see her on campus sometimes. We didn't say anything to each other. So that pretty much concludes the time that I was the roommate from hell. And I didn't mean to be, like, it really wasn't my intention to be that bad to the girl. I mean, those are just the stories that stand out to me, but I'm pretty sure, like, there were other things that I was doing that just made her mad or whatever. Like, I really don't know what her problem was, but we just did not have matching personalities. Whatever questionnaire we both took before the semester started to try to match our personalities to a roommate just didn't work. And I'll say it before I say it again, but I don't agree with roommates in college. I don't. I think it's cruel to stick two young people inside this little 12 by 12 room. I don't know how big college dorm rooms are, but they're pretty small if you've ever had to be in one. With all your stuff, and you don't know each other, and you got to get used to each other's habits, and meanwhile you're just trying to follow your education, and some of us want to have fun and want to go out, and others of us want to go to bed at 10:30, and it's like, there's just, if it works out, it works out, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. And in this case, it did not work out. She moved out on my ass, and I kind of felt bad, but it's over now. So that concludes the time I was the roommate from hell story time, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Let me know what you want to hear.